Well, hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm here with Karina Bonshek, composer, Dr. Karina Bonshek, and I'm Adrian Head, founder and director of the Ady Ensemble. And we're here to talk today about Dreams of the Earth, which is being released on the 5th of February 2021. And Karina and I have known each other for a long time. We thought this would be the first of three chats that we'd have about the recording and our background leading up to the recording. So welcome, Karina,
Hey.
and welcome to everyone who's listening. Let's just talk first before we go any further about how you and I actually first met. And would you like to talk about it from your angle?
Sure. So I'd moved up to the Gold Coast and I was looking for Brisbane-based ensembles to perform my music, and Ady Ensemble came up, and I saw that their Ady Ensemble had programmed works by women composers. Lisa Cheney had been performed, and I thought, oh, and had a commitment to new works, living composers. I thought this could be a great ensemble to approach.
Well, I've actually still got, I did a bit of a dig around and I actually found the original email that you sent me, which was through our website, and straight away it sounds very much like you, Corinne, even though you'd never met me. It sounds very much like you. Hi there, I'm a composer and I'd love to write a piece for you. I read through your emerging classics program guidelines and the guidelines all make sense. I wondered if you could send me your email so that I can send you a proposal for a piece, and feel free to check out my music and bio at bonmusic.com.au. And from there, I think there's about 16 more emails that all go through to about 2015, I think. And I think the first time we might have met might have been when you came to one of our concerts in that year. I think we did a concert in March or May as part of the 4MBS Classics. And I think things just went from there. You had a pre-existing work which you wanted that you'd written for string quartet, if I remember, and that you wanted to expand that for strings, full strings. And when did we perform that? That must have been the following year. Actually, it was around about 2016, wasn't it? And then, but tell us about the origins of this work, Karina, and how Dreams of the Earth evolved from Song of the Earth and what that was.
Actually, I had the idea for this piece, I'd say, at least 10 years prior. I was down in Melbourne and I saw this flock of birds just spiraling round in the sky. And I thought, wow, that pattern is so beautiful. It'd be so incredible to do that with sound and with live instruments, because I'd done, electroacoustic mixing, but I was really interested in this spatialized performance with live musicians, and I knew it had to be a large ensemble, and at that time that seemed quite tricky. And but in 2018 I had a really wonderful opportunity to pitch an idea for a large scale work that could be part of the Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games Arts and Culture Festival. And so I dusted that idea off and thought a lot about the bird song and the nature sounds in this area. And we have this, incredible summer of cicada sounds that swell and like big waves of sound in the forest. And I thought the combination of these swirling birds and singing cicadas would make for a really exciting piece of music. And that's where the idea came from.
And was and subsequently rehearsals with we have to thank Deep Blue Orchestra for getting behind that, as well as, of course, the Bleach Festival, who also put the work on. Tell us a little bit about the parameters of the actual performance itself.
Yeah, look, it was quite unusual. We ended up performing in a 25 meter diameter circle. So with the musicians spread out into the string players, we were in little groups of 8 little groups, and the audience walked amongst them. And on the periphery, we had a percussionist led by Michael Askell, a really celebrated Australian percussionist. And the overall effect with beautifully mixed nature sounds, Anna Whitaker, was just stunning. There was kind of the melding of the outdoor birds with the recorded birds, with gestures on the strings and in the percussion. That's kind of really magical. And we were with lights as well, so outside.
It was almost, in some ways, it was like almost an installation piece made of live objects. And I have to say, so this was on a beachfront, and people could come and go as they pleased.
Yeah.
And I think for me, one of the most striking sights was during the first night, as the performance was going on. I just happened to look across the audience, who were people literally just standing around. And there was a couple of guys in their Speedos with their surfboards. They'd come up from the surf, and they were just completely mesmerised by the entire experience. And for me, that was particularly moving for someone who, for people who probably would have never had much interest in classical music, let alone modern classical music. To see them fascinated and quite frankly enthralled by the whole experience was to me very, it was as moving to see that as it was to see the piece in action.
Cool.
It was a wonderful thing. Of course, that performance happened, and I think you and I started talking about the prospect of writing something to be performed indoors in a concert suite. And we might talk a little bit more about that in the following chat. But if you're interested in this work, and please stay tuned, as we will be discussing this further, and the next two steps, where we went from actually getting from where we are now, which is the Bleach Festival performance, to actually recording the work. And then from there, we'll talk about, in the following chat after that, about where we got from the recording to actually the album launch that we're about to have, which is an interesting story in itself, to say the least. But we'd like to just say, look, so February the 5th this year, 2021, Karina's work, Dreams of the Earth, will be launched on the, I haven't worked out how to say it, is it ReLive or ReLive?
I don't know either.
If you can tell us, but certainly you can find the work on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and of course, Palmer Records. And
yeah, on their Navona label, and we'll include a link on this little video.
And you'll have the link there very shortly. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.